Hello, please take the time to leave a meaningful comment, click the like, the notify bell and subscribe. Thank you. To read the stories in full, please visit www.steveuk.blog. Short story 157, The Lost Cat Caper. Mia, a sprightly woman with a shock of purple hair, lived in a charming cobbled street in Venice. Tourists with cameras jostled past her daily, but Mia paid them little mind. Her focus was on a far more pressing matter. Her beloved ginger cat, Marmalade, had vanished. Marmalade, a notorious explorer, had a habit of squeezing through impossibly tiny gaps. Now, after leaving the window ajar for a mere 5 minutes to greet the delivery man, Mia found his bed empty. Panic gnawed at her. Determined to find her furry friend, Mia grabbed a stack of missing cat posters she'd hastily printed as she started sticking them on lampposts. A gruff voice startled her. "Lost something, have we?" a gruff voice rumbled behind her. Mia turned to see a tall, elderly man with a thick, salt and pepper beard. He wore a worn fisherman's hat and a mischievous twinkle in his eyes. This was Enzo, a local fisherman known for his gruff exterior and even softer heart. Tears welling in her eyes, Mia recounted Marmalade's disappearance. Enzo, surprisingly gentle, offered his help. "Cats," he declared, stroking his beard. "They have a way of finding trouble, but they also have a way of finding their way back." He suggested Mia start by asking the local shopkeepers, who often saw cats wandering the narrow streets. With renewed hope, Mia and Enzo embarked on a search. They questioned the owner of the charming bakery, who swore he'd seen a ginger cat blurred chasing pigeons earlier, the stern gondolier named Marco, who grumbled about ginger felines being a nuisance, and even the gossipy old woman who lived next door and claimed to have heard meows coming from the abandoned boathouse by the canal. Following the old woman's lead, Mia and Enzo arrived at the boathouse. It was a ramshackle structure, its paint peeling and the windows boarded shut. A shiver ran down Mia's spine, but the thought of Marmalade spurred her on. Pushing open the creaking door, they were greeted by a musty smell and the sound of scurrying creatures. Enzo, ever the pragmatist, fished a battered flashlight from his pocket and flicked it on. Inside the boathouse was a maze of dusty crates and cobwebs. Mia called out Marmalade's name, her voice echoing eerily in the stillness. Suddenly, a flash of orange darted across the beam of light. "Marmalade!" Mia cried, rushing deeper into the boathouse. She followed the flashes of ginger fur, dodging precarious stacks of boxes and tripping over loose floorboards. The chase led them to a small hidden room behind a stack of tarpaulins. There, perched precariously on a stack of old rope coils, sat a disgruntled-looking Marmalade. Relief washed over Mia as she coaxed the cat into her arms. Enzo chuckled, his gruffness replaced by a warm smile. "Well, well," he said, "seems your friend likes his adventures wild." Back at home, Mia showered Marmalade with affection and a stern lecture about venturing out. Enzo, sipping a cup of tea Mia offered, looked at the purring cat nestled contentedly on a cushion. "He's a lucky one," Enzo said, a hint of fondness in his voice. "Not everyone finds a friend willing to wade through a dusty boathouse for them." Mia smiled. "Thank you, Enzo. I couldn't have found him without you." Enzo winked. "Don't mention it, lass. Just remember, sometimes even the most stubborn souls need a little help finding their way home." As Enzo sauntered off towards the harbour, Mia knew this wasn't just about finding Marmalade. It was about finding an unexpected friend and a gruff fisherman who knew a thing or two about navigating life's unexpected twists. In the days that followed, a peculiar change began to take place. Enzo, once a solitary figure on the canals, started dropping by Mia's shop with fresh fish he'd caught. They chat on her doorstep, Enzo regaling her with tales of his life on the Venetian waters, and Mia sharing her passion for restoring antique furniture. Then came the day when Mia received a frantic call from a tourist who claimed their purse had been snatched by a group of mischievous kids while they were on a gondola ride. Mia's heart sank. The purse contained irreplaceable keepsakes from the tourist's trip. Desperate, she turned to Enzo, who listened intently to her story. A glint appeared in his eye. "Leave it to me, lass," he said with a mischievous grin. Later that evening, Enzo returned with a triumphant glint in his eyes and a worn leather purse clutched in his hand. "Found it nestled in the reeds near an abandoned building the young ones frequent," he explained. Relief washed over Mia as she contacted the ecstatic tourist, who returned the next day, showering Enzo with gratitude and a hefty reward. From then on, their friendship blossomed. Enzo became a regular fixture at Mia's doorstep, not just with fishy offerings, but with stories of the canals and their hidden secrets. He even started helping her restore a particularly ornate chair, his weathered hands surprisingly deft with the tools. One sunny afternoon, as they sat sipping coffee on Mia's doorstep, Marmalade curled comfortably at Enzo's feet. A comfortable silence settled between them. "You know," Enzo rumbled, his voice softer than usual, "sometimes this old fisherman feels a bit lost at sea himself." Mia looked at him, her heart filled with a newfound understanding. This gruff exterior hid a man yearning for connection. "We all get lost sometimes, Enzo," she said gently, "but the important thing is we have a friend to help find your way back." Enzo smiled, a genuine one that crinkled the corners of his eyes. "Seems I found one," he said, glancing at Marmalade, who purred louder, as if on cue. The lost cat caper, as Mia started calling it, had not just reunited her with Marmalade, it had led her to an unlikely friendship, a reminder that sometimes the most rewarding discoveries happen when we least expect them, hidden in the twists and turns of life's winding canals. Vocabulary notes. General. Spry, adjective, lively and energetic, describes Mia. Cobbled, adjective, paved with rounded stones, describes the street. Jostled, verb, bumped or pushed roughly, describes tourists. Gruff, adjective, harsh or bad tempers in voice or manner, describes Enzo initially. Mischievous twinkle, phrase, a playful and teasing look in someone's eye, describes Enzo. Pondered, verb, considered thoughtfully, could replace thought of in the story. Stern, adjective, strict and serious, describes Marco. Ramshackle, adjective, in a poor state of repair, describes the boathouse. Musty, adjective, having a stale or mouldy smell, describes the boathouse. Scuttling creatures, phrase, small animals moving quickly, describes creatures in the boathouse. Precarious, adjective, not secure or safe, describes stacks of boxes. Disgruntled, adjective, annoyed or dissatisfied, describes Marmalade. Contentment, noun, a state of peaceful happiness, describes Marmalade. Fondness, noun, a liking or affection for someone or something, describes Enzo's voice. Solitary, adjective, alone or preferring to be alone, describes Enzo initially. Sauntered, verb, walked in a slow, relaxed way, describes Enzo leaving. Unexpected twist, phrase, a surprising turn of events, describes the friendship. Blossomed, verb, developed successfully, describes the friendship. Fixture, noun, a person or thing that is always present in a particular place, describes Enzo's visits. Venice specific, gondola, noun, a long narrow boat with a flat bottom, traditionally used in Venice for carrying passengers. Canal, noun, an artificial waterway, especially one used for transport. Boathouse, noun, a building for storing boats. Informal language. Blimey, interjection, British informal expression of surprise or annoyance, could replace gruff voice. Lass, noun, informal British word for a young girl or young woman, used by Enzo. Story written by Google Bard AI, image created by desgo.com AI. Please check out my new blog at www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. Hello, this is Steve. If you enjoyed the story, please would you take the time to leave a meaningful comment and click on the like icon. If you want to know when the next story has been uploaded, please click on the notify bell icon to be notified. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and tell your English learning friends so they can benefit too. Thank you.